Welcome to the Warrior Supercast. We are here in the Waycross studio so that we can keep you connected to what's going on in the Winton Woods City School District. Today, we're going to keep you connected to how many different ways the district is preparing students for careers. We have in our heads an idea of what a successful career path looks like. But there are a lot of variations on that and new things that are available. So today I have guests in the studio. I have, of course, Superintendent Steve Denny. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
And I have the brand new CTE coordinator, that's the Career and Technical Education Coordinator, Dr. Adonica Jones-Parks.
Yes.
Can you explain to me what your role as Career and Technical Education Coordinator is in the district?
So, it is a brand new position. It's new to Winton Woods because they realized that they needed someone who can be laser focused on this area of education. So that is my role, is to amplify and expand our curriculum by providing career technical opportunities for our students. So career-based learning, career awareness, career exploration for K through 12.
Now, Steve, tell
Yes.
me what's different. We're saying career-based learning.
Yes.
Tell me how that's different from the model that we're used to looking at.
So that's a great question, Dana. I think a lot of people have a perception of what we might have called back in the day vocational education, and it's very different now. So one of the things we also want to make sure people don't lose sight of is it's not college or career. It's college and career. Even if you're going to go to college, you should be doing that with aspirations toward a particular career field. It's okay if you don't have it all figured out from day one, but that should be something that we as a K-12 educational system should be helping students with. So what's different now is it's career-based, and it's very much like Dr. Jones-Parks mentioned. You're going to start at the elementary level with awareness. What's out there? What do you want to be when you grow up? And then you're moving as you progress through the grades. You're doing activities. You're discovering some of those things. You're maybe doing visits with different experts in different fields and things like that. But as you move into the middle grade, you're looking at career exploration, things like job shadowing, maybe industry tours, site tours, career fairs might start to happen. And then at the high school level, you're doing career planning. So it's much more embedded. And it's not just a thing you do when you hit a certain age and you think, well, I don't want to go to college, so I want to do X. That's a very old model. There's so many more complexities to the world now and opportunities for kids to do both, to go to college and pursue a career, or to pursue a career that might need, say, industry licensures or industry credentials, recognized industry credentials in order to complete that. So the world's just a lot different now than it used to be. And career education and vocational education looks very different. We really talk about it more as like career-based learning as opposed to just vocational ed.
What does it look like at the little kid level?
So I was just about to add to that. Part of this model, because if it is academic, it's academic plus your technical skills and then your employability skills, and it's all intertwined. So it's not one or the other, because actually there are ways to integrate college as you are pursuing your industry credentials and work-based learning experiences while in high school. So there are so many ways to leverage opportunities to go to work on college credits while also working in the skilled trades and the technical areas. So the little kids can look a variety of ways. I know we have heard of that touch a truck.
Yeah.
So kids like interactive activities. They like hands-on. So you can start with things in the classroom. You can do a grade appropriate career fair. You could do a grade level appropriate career interest survey, because that's a big deal. I think the earlier we start getting our kids thinking and considering, because it really helps. We can have industry professionals come to the schools and engage with the students. There are little activities. I know the counselors are actually going into the classrooms because we have a digital platform called School Links that actually has curriculum on there that they can use to work with students, where you talk about, there's one part, finding my path, what would you rather, and then there are other activities. There's a virtual reality piece because we're looking at expanding this School Links platform throughout the entire district from K-12. So I demoed part of it, and you could do virtual reality where the kid can sit in the cockpit of a plane. Oh, cool. And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, I felt this like I was in the cockpit, right? So cool. So those type of activities are engaging. I have spoken with a potential partner for summer enrichment program that's career-based. So it may be STEM, it can be health sciences, it can be IT. So, and speaking of IT, the earlier you teach students to code, the outcomes are better as they go enter the middle school grades. So there are multiple opportunities to engage students as young as kindergarten.
You've mentioned a few fields. You've mentioned pilot, you've mentioned coding. I know that's really some of the same part of your brain that learns languages, so that totally makes sense. What are some more examples of the kinds of career fields that you see needing future employees and needing these alternate paths to make sure students are ready for them?
I'm so glad you asked that. So, Ohio is a manufacturing state. We have quite a large economy in comparison to the rest of the country. Manufacturing is a huge industry. Companies are offering paid apprenticeships. Construction trades continue to be large. And not just your typical, there's even construction management. Welding falls under construction, but it also can be separate, and that's a big one. Health sciences are still popular and high demand. So these are high demand careers. STEM continues to be a high demand. So part of this CTE lane is to really engage with industry partners and understanding the trends, what they will be forecasting, looking at the needs that the economy needs to drive this whole economic thing. But at the same time, with this option, students don't have to take out loans to pay for college. And by the way, there are opportunities. You can earn an associate's degree while you're in high school. So so there are these ways to kind of keep the debt down. And also, it's not college or bust anymore. So I call it college or bust. That's my new thing. So so as I was saying, these the manufacturing pathway, so those are your high demands. And in this area, there are numerous manufacturing companies. I was talking with someone a nonprofit who helps schedule manufacturing tours. She mentioned to me there are 6,000 manufacturing companies in this area, in this, like the county, and small to large.
Wow. And these are jobs that
pay extremely well.
These are not,
you can do well.
and the access to them is they're looking for people. You mentioned not your grandma's Votech, we used to say, and that we have an idea of what does a factory look like. You go into a modern factory, it's robotic. It's robotics, it's technology.
They're using AI.
It's clean room, it's AI. And what they need is people who've apprenticed there. They don't need someone who went a traditional path because that's what we've always done.
Because ultimately, of course, in my profession as an educator, I went to school. But at the end of the day, when I go to work, a lot of it I learned on the job. I received the foundationals. But what the companies are saying is, hey, we can start training you right now. And there are some programs who are accepting seniors. We have pre-apprentice programs that start as early as 10th grade. By your senior year, depending on how your schedule is looking, if you are ahead in terms of your graduation requirements, there are some companies that will allow you to come in at 17. Normally it's 18 for apprenticeships, but they can start at 17 provided that they receive some documents from the counselor, like, hey, they've already met the requirements for graduation. They can get them started. And one electrical union training center, they actually have seniors coming in for a program. So they're getting a head start on their apprenticeship, which is paid. It's paid.
Fantastic.
It's paid. A lot of the apprenticeships, well, just about all of them now that I have seen are paid. And then I'm seeing also their families saying, hey, you go on to college, but I want you to get this skilled trade as well. So it's not just limited to a certain demographic, a certain, whether you're affluent or you're not. And let me add on the vocational piece. Back in the day, this don't age. This vocational program that we had in schools, in some schools it was that place where you wanted to kind of tuck a certain student away. I'll send him, just enroll him in wood shop or something like that, to where they out the way, or they've been deemed that, oh, they're not going to college, oh, they're a bad kid. And that's why we have to change the narrative on what career technical education really is. So it's not that. It's for anyone who wants to not necessarily go to college at that time. Oh, and by the way, the Union Training Center, you actually earn an associate's degree while you're in the program.
She raises a really important point, I think. Not only this idea of changing the narrative, but this idea that it's so linear. I think when we were coming up, it was you did this, then you did this, you went to high school, you went to college, then you got a job. That is not the modern workforce. The modern workforce is much more non-linear, where some of those things might be happening at the same time. So you're going to perhaps enter a career or skilled trade, but they're going to tell you, like, what's your algebra score? Like, we need you to really understand algebra, or you're going to operate this piece of equipment on a construction site, but it's very heavily technology based, and you have to really understand what you're working with. So all these skills begin to bleed into one another.
Yes.
What used to be considered to be the collegiate setting is happening on construction sites, is happening in advanced manufacturing, is happening in the health and sciences fields. It's sort of ubiquitous now, right? It's not linear. It's just the world is far more complex, and I think that's part of what we have to do as educators that are charged with taking care of kids and creating opportunities for children and families, is we need to make sure that we're responsive to that. And so we're acknowledging that this world is different now. It's different than when we were coming up, and we got to prepare our kids to be able to enter it and be successful. And that's why a position like Dr. Jones-Parks is filling is so important for any school district, to be honest.
So what happens is at the school level, and it's not as easy when you're a comprehensive high school, I mean, because you have some, like your joint vocational career centers, that's what they do all day, but they enter into agreements with comprehensive high schools such as a Winton Woods School District. However, there are only a certain number of students we can send, so you have dozens of schools who are, working with Butler Tag, Oaks, and Oaks is, they have multiple campuses. So they have to keep up with the growth and with the industries, like with the batteries, for the electric cars, the lithium ion. So what's happening is the career centers have to keep up with the industry and start offering those programs. So what happens with us, we have to find ways to make sure we expand the accessibility of career technical education to students who may not be able to enter Scarlet Oaks, which is our specific partner. So that's where the school level has to sometimes get very creative to make that happen, because we still have requirements to graduate, but you have to be flexible, you have to be creative. That's where other partnerships come in, but and what I do like about the Department of Education and Workforce, they have departments specifically that will help you figure it out. And that's what we're doing. We want to expand these options, and it's just also making sure the students meet their requirements for graduation, get what they need, and pay them and get them on a path. We have to, as educators, we have to just stop sending kids out with a high school diploma and they don't have a plan. And that's what we're committed to doing. We are going to. We're working on that, and we have some great partners who are going to assist us with career coaching, soft skills training, everything they need.
And there's capacities by program as well. They have all these
Absolutely.
great programs, but there's only certain limited capacities because
Okay.
there's only so many resources to serve the various districts and students.
And they do have satellites in schools. So we have one of their satellite programs.
Okay.
So that is always an option as well. And so that's, so there's a great partnership that is longstanding with the district.
Yeah.
And they do a fantastic job.
They
So,
do.
We don't stay on the same path indefinitely anymore like we did in the day.
What's the research, Dana? I think the average person changes careers 7 times, not jobs, careers in their
Careers.
lifetime. The average person.
on
Not
track.
everyone does that, but
Yeah.
I mean,
And
Yeah.
with job
There's a lot of
elimination, and with
change.
with things evolving the way it
Yeah.
is in just industry and how technology is advancing, you have to, in some point, pivot. It's just a different time that we are in. So we want to make sure that we equip our students with that ability to, be their best selves, but be able to pivot if necessary. And, but if we get them on the right path, they'll figure it out. So.
just incidentally, Ohio's really done a nice job, I think, as a state system, developing and acknowledging this workplace development idea.
Yeah.
In fact, I mean, when the Department of Education changes its name a few years ago to literally say the Department of Education and Workforce, you can tell they're acknowledging that there's a need to move in this direction as a state. And so we definitely are paying attention and seeing the same trends and wanting to make sure we're leaning into that.
Talk about what workforce hours look like for students who participate in that.
So the state wants, starting at between grade 9 and grade 12, to earn 250 hours
Okay.
of work-based learning. And it can be in different areas in career fields, because that's the whole point of this, to try some different things.
Okay.
And actually, students who work in the summer, they can pick up quite a few hours right at that point. We really are pushing pre-apprenticeships as early as 10th grade. Number one, that also gets them their 12-point credential for graduation, but it also gets them working in a career path that they may be of interest to them. So they are encouraging. They don't want to place students in a box. So the state is like, hey, 250 hours, but if you want to try health, if you want to try manufacturing, you want to try agri-science, you want to do aviation, oh yeah, they have aviation industry credentials as
I mean,
well.
that's so cool.
And we have the flexibility, and there's a new partnership that Dr. Jones Parks has been working on where there's the opportunity to create, for the district to create jobs. Or
Okay.
perhaps a business partner.
Yeah.
Like you guys have been a wonderful partner to our district, many districts for years. Maybe that's a position you
So we-
create,
yeah,
like
we
an
might need some
apprenticeship or an
video
internship,
Yeah.
a video production, and it's it's aligned with the district, and we can release a kid during the day because they've already got plenty of credits and they're an upperclassman, a junior or senior, for example, and maybe they can even leave during the school day to
So
go
that-
work
that
and,
does
and
lead
earn
into-
valuable experience and income.
That was my next question is businesses, people who are working in any kind of office that's thinking, whether they're in any industry at all, that thinks, oh, gee, I bet students would really gain from being in this office and seeing what it's like in your day to day. Are you collecting them? How do they get in touch with you?
Hey.
What should we
Oh,
know about this?
Listen, I'm so glad you said that.
Okay.
Set.
Yes,
Yeah,
we
Spike.
are actively seeking industry partners, whether it's nonprofit, for-profit, whatever field they represent, industry they represent. We are very, very interested in talking with them. Call me.
Yeah.
Because
okay.
we have a lot of kids.
We do.
Yeah.
So we want to support as many of them as possible. Now, there are students who already work and, they found their own job and they're working.
Yeah.
However, they are still able to seek other opportunities as well. But yes, we are seeking as many partners as we can so we can establish a collaboration to look at job shadowing, presentations, opportunities to do industry tours where they tour the corporate headquarters, the warehouse where you have all the logistics happening, then opportunities for internships. entry-level employment upon graduation. So if you already have students working with you in the
Yeah.
summer, you have them already apprenticing, it's just an easy pivot right into entry-level employment with an opportunity to actually upskill them, send them to college if that's what eventually is required for the position. There are too many opportunities to really build a pipeline for employees and have our young people already on a path for careers. Actually, I want to go back to what you were kind of saying, like, why do we have, the kids are saying, they always say that, why do I need to know this?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you have to connect why they are learning what they're learning to the real world.
Yes.
So it's that connection. So then we can say, well, you're learning this because to be an electrician, you have to at least know algebra and you have to have strong reading skills. So to pass the aptitude test for, the electrician program. And there are other programs, there are other career tech programs. I did a tour of Scarlett. Oh my gosh, that is incredible.
Truly.
But there are some fields that require their reading level, the Lexile level is actually collegiate level. So again, there is no escaping academics. I think this would, like I said, it's become a marriage, and the kid, it'll start once we start at the school level embracing this connection, the connection of the academics to real life. And I'm always reminded of my spouse who is in a skilled trade. He talks about backing in a truck, and he says it's nothing but angles. And most people, and he doesn't have to back in driver's trucks, but he's finding himself having to do so just so he can continue with his day. And he's saying they can't get the angles to back in. It's geometry.
Okay.
We had a conversation yesterday. We were talking about the presence of more CTE options for students and them having more access in that world helps improve attendance. And I think it's very driven by the conversation we were just having and what we were just hitting on, because everything's connected, right? So if a child understands another way this is applied is in the real world of workforce, all of a sudden it makes more sense to me. I'm more motivated to engage with this. Maybe I come to school more often because this is another option I have that school is helping to connect me with. And I think it's our responsibility as educators to help do that for students and create more avenues. And I think
That's
it
a
really
really good
really
point,
does
too.
that. Drives graduation rate, I think you'd say.
Yeah.
So I was on some because I constantly there's so many pieces to this that I'm having to I actually do training. Hey students, I'm never too old to learn.
Still training.
I'm still training. I'm still training. Yes.
Every day.
Every
we
day.
learn something.
I'm still training. So they are saying that students who are in not only the state presented a statistic that students in CTE, their graduation rate is 98%, and their attendance is better. And that gets down to student engagement. They have found what they like.
Right.
And so, and that's really the key. And so we have the potential to, and I'm not saying just we as in Winton Woods, I'm talking all schools. We have the potential to decrease chronic absenteeism, increase graduation rates, and increase a student's opportunity to find the success on their terms. And for students who need to have some financial security, I mean, getting them in the right career and the money that can be made is life-changing.
Before we finish, is there anything else you'd like to add?
So, parents, please contact your counselor, your students, your child's counselor, because the opportunities are constantly rolling in. As I get them, I work with the school level, the counselors, and because I'm getting apprenticeships, job opportunities, all kinds of opportunities that are coming up, including there's the applications have opened up for next gen.
Okay.
Next engineer, I'm sorry, and that's with GE and UC. So those applications are open, and that program, if they complete and stay with that, they earn $20,000 towards college.
Yeah, it's huge. These are
So
the kind of
we
opportunities
have
that are
several
out there.
students in the program. I found, and then I kept looking. I said, "Oh, they have an 8th grade program." So I have reached out to them for that. So I'm constantly seeking, and then things also come to me. And we even have nonprofits that have culinary programs, logistics programs, construction programs. So I'm constantly getting that information, so students can stop by their counseling, the counseling office, and speak to one of the counselors, and we can help them.
And in alignment with that, we do actually have counselors at all grade levels now, which is another added value for our kids and families and staff in the district. So we do have an elementary counselor and, of course, a middle school guidance department and a really well-established and really efficient, effective high school guidance counseling department as well. So yeah, contact your counselor, and that's at any level at the system at this point.
Oh, and industries. We would love to have you for our lunch and learns as well.
Okay, that's another place that students will get to interact with someone in the
Yes,
different
we do lunch and learns, and we have a college and career night in January, January 29th at the high school, and the middle school has one March 20th from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. So we would like to expand it out and have more businesses and other industries come on in.
I want to thank you both for coming in.
Thank you.
We have covered so much that we will definitely need to do a follow-up.
Absolutely.
And probably some more things focused on some of the specifics here, I think. I want to thank you for watching, because that means you are staying connected to what's happening in the Winton Woods City School District, and we will see you next time.